What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr. New Cool.
I suppose.
That's crazy to me.
And it's your girl, Dani, permanently exhausted pigeon. Not a bird, but yes, a pigeon.
A bird is a pigeon.
Keep going. We're not going to belabor this point.
I'm just saying, it's a bird is a pigeon, so.
Welcome to, I'm just cutting you off. Welcome to another episode of Lovers Quarrel. We took a little break last week.
Yeah.
Because we were riding high from the live show. We're so excited and thankful for you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody who came out and supported us. Thank you for selling us out.
Twice. Three times.
3
times.
So, we truly appreciate it. And it meant the world, to be able to set your sight on something and be able to accomplish it. So,
yes. And
thank you, Baltimore.
Yes, and I tip my hat to you, babe, because you definitely were the driving force behind it.
Say that again.
I can give credit where credit is due. You were the driving force. You willed this thing to existence.
All right. I just want to make sure I get it.
It's recorded. It's on tape. It's fine. But anyway, we of course all back at you, and we have a guest. And of course, like always, we're gonna formally introduce him later in the episode. But say hey, Omar.
What up? What up?
All right, so Omar is a very special guest, and we're gonna get into
Very special.
what he does and how he falls into everything in a little bit. But just get familiar with that voice. But as always, y'all know what time it is. Elevator talk time. Going down. So my elevator talk for this week is not my personal one, but it's of my line sister. So I was texting her earlier about something random, and she hit me back, and she was like, yeah, girl. And she said, I'm pissed the fuck off. She's like, somebody stole her debit card information and has just spent $1,800 off of her card. And she was like, she done call everybody at Capital One, cursed them out. She said they probably gonna call the cops on her because she threatened their parents. She threatened their mamas. She told them to put them on the phone with the manager so she can curse the manager the fuck out. And I like, it's funny, but at the same time it's not, because it's just like, it was the fucking holidays. Like, who needs to be 18? It's not even like, oh, it's $100. I mean, and even then, for some people, $100 is like life or death. So like, to talk about almost $2,000 just gone, and now you got to fight with people over the phone to get your money back, or be made whole again. Man, fuck them. So
I'm pretty sure she'll be made whole though.
I hope so, but it's the principle of it, because like,
I mean, it's violating.
Thieving ass people, yes.
It's a violating experience.
Absolutely.
So I can definitely agree with that.
And also, it's just like, nobody. It's the fact that like now she has to do all the legwork to get what was already hers back. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
she has to prove to get it back.
Yeah, and it's just so whack. And I hate that. And I mean, I feel like, unfortunately, like so many of us go through it. It happened to me years ago, but for not nearly as much as money. But it's just whack. And it's just like the time of year is whack and everything. Because now this is the time where you're like buying presents and buying a whole bunch of food that you're going to eat for a week straight. So
let's look at the positive. She can tell people she ain't getting no gifts because of this. You got to look at the positives in this.
Silver lining?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I guess. But that's my elevator talk for the week.
I'm gonna stay down with you. I have two. So, R.I.P. to Kim Porter.
Yeah, that's really sad. That shit broke my heart.
Super sad.
It's a tough situation, especially because she had children, and no child should have to bury their mother, or their parents. So, R.I.P. to her and family. So that's a downer. And then, go ahead.
I was just going to say something. I said something to TJ, and I was like, Omar, unfortunately, you and I are kind of part of the same club of, like, having lost a parent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying to TJ the other day, we were driving about when Kim Porter passed, and I was like, it was, like, weighing on me more. And I was like, I think because I've lost a parent, it's just, like, even though we were adults and stuff like that, it's kind of like, I feel like so much more for her kids because I'm like,
so much worse,
and especially because she has young children,
kids,
So I'm like, if I'm still jacked up, like still grieving, and still, you have those moments where like something will pop in your mind and make you think of your mom, and make me think of my dad,
right?
And it's like, and it still hits me like that, and I'm a grown woman like I can only imagine being like if this was happening to me and I was 11.
Yeah.
You know, so like
Devastating.
it's so crazy. And I just was like, I was just saying it to TJ. I'm like, you know, and that's why I think it stung a little bit more of somebody I don't know, obviously, and anything like
But
that.
I also think it's the unexpected. She was healthy. From the outside looking in, we don't know what it is, but she looks healthy.
Yeah.
She's young, and you know,
47.
I think as I get older, it scares me more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we have a lot of African American people who are dying at a younger age, and
Yeah.
like, shit, I'm almost there. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's definitely a very sad situation, and you know, it kind of plays on because they said that she was complaining to a doctor, and it kind of goes back to them saying that like for black women, doctors don't like listen.
Believe them.
They don't
Really?
believe them when they're going through things, because it happened with Serena Williams. She was telling them like something's not right, and they're like, no, it's okay. But she's like, I know my body, and she almost died from that.
She had blood clots after she gave birth.
Crazy.
And,
Yeah.
and it's true.
I mean, it kind of goes back to when you had your C-section, and the joint was so when Dani had a C-section, one of the machines kept beeping, and I was asking about it, and the doctor was kind of like,
Don't worry about it.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So he said it at one time, pretty much said it one time, like, all right, did it again, and I'm like, no, something's not right. Like, it shouldn't be beeping like this. And he made like a smart comment, and I had to black on him, but it just makes me think like,
Yeah.
you know, if someone is saying that something's not right, then you need to do what you need to do. Like,
You need to dig into it.
yeah,
Figure
it
out.
shouldn't be like, I'm a doctor, I see these patients all the time, so
So you think it's a malpractice situation now?
It might be.
Maybe like I mean, or because you know, because they thought she had pneumonia. Like she said she had pneumonia, and pneumonia can definitely sneak up on people. It can go left real fast. But at the same time, it's like if she was saying like I don't feel right, it's I'm like, you know, being in a medical profession, like that's just a career where like even though you got people who are always crying wolf kind of thing, at the same time like you gotta kind of like give it some attention. I feel like because if that one time where if you try to brush it off, then it's like that's the serious time when like you should have listened to your patient.
Yeah.
And I agree with TJ, but like they said, basically they were saying that like it's become evident that like black women, they're either brushed off as like that they're like either exaggerating their pain, or that doctors or medical professionals think that they like can withstand more pain. Like, oh, you're all right, you're tough, this and the other, and it kind of goes to that whole like black women having to be strong.
Yeah, and I'm sure it probably goes past the medical.
Yeah,
thing.
it's race. It's
like-
a race.
Yeah.
Anything black women are involved with, you know,
it's how racism like manifests itself
Yeah.
in the medical field. But
100%.
yeah, but
Crazy.
go ahead, baby.
No, I mean that was it for that. And another thing was Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
I know you hate him.
I don't hate him. I
You
don't
don't
think
care
he's
for him.
I don't think he's a
sad.
good rapper. That's all.
So sad. I love him. He's like my favorite.
Yeah,
I like his
that's-
energy.
He's funny. I can give you that. He's definitely he's like a troll. He looks like
He's
a
the
troll.
illest in history.
But the issue with it is they're using the image of who he is to prosecute him. And, you know, it's
Okay.
the reason why it's down is because there's little kids who looks up to that, and they think that, you know, doing what he's doing is going to get them to where they need to be, or it's going to make them popular. And, you know, it's unfortunate. He's a kid.
He's very young. But
22.
22. I mean, he's an adult by age, but he's still a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and in that situation, to me, is just, it's sad.
It's super sad.
Yeah.
I do think it's unfortunate, and I feel like, you know, because he's when somebody that young or like on the younger end, and I mean obviously like we're older than him, but you know that was less than 10 years ago that we were his age, like, and you come into like a lot of money and a lot of notoriety very quickly, like it's hard. You're hard pressed to tell them what the hell to do, and like they make dumbass decisions, or they flaunt things, or they talk about things that they may or may not be about, but then the feds don't care.
The crazy thing is, all his decisions worked except those few. You know what I mean? And so it's so hard to tell those kids something or what to do or try to guide them down the right path, because everything that he decided to do got him
Has
rich.
worked in his favor, yeah.
Got him lit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's why I said like he's the illest to ever do it to me, because last year this time, or maybe maybe a
Year and a
13
half.
months,
Yeah.
14 months this time, he was just a broke kid. And then now he's like headed to jail or in jail, and who knows what's gonna happen to him. But in that 1 year span, he has had the illest career I've ever seen in my entire life.
But
What he said, 11 for 11 on the billboard.
yeah, but you know, like
that's
those.
the illest career.
Do you think that? I mean, that's always like. It makes me think like, you know, sometimes when you fly a little too close to the sun, you burn out, you flame out so fast.
The sad part about the whole thing is that, you know, and I guess we'll probably get into it later, but the sad thing about it is those guys really don't have real good guidance. It's like the blind leading the blind, and it's always been like that. And so, you know, unfortunately, and maybe as older guys, we don't take enough time to like big brother these kids or be a mentor to these kids. Like just say something to them where they respect you. Like we don't have any credibility with the kids. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a problem. I'm trying to gain as much credibility as I can with them so I can just get their ear. That's the whole reason I'm doing what I do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I feel bad for the kid, man.
Yeah, I do feel. I feel bad for him. Like, I mean, all this stuff. Like, I've been on this show and I've said I think that he is a terrible rapper, but at the same time, like I don't wish it's unfortunate because he also has a child. He has like there's people that depend on him, and now it's like it could be like overnight, like especially at the number of years that he's facing. If they try to make an example out of him,
And there's a lot more that goes into the story. Like,
ton more that goes into
it's
the
a whole
story.
bunch of like, you know, his business partners were trying to like put a hit out on him. Like,
is that why he just like fired everybody?
He fired
everybody,
first,
and then everything started.
You just can't fire a hood dude.
Yeah, and that's.
So with that, I'm just saying, you know, I feel bad for the situation.
I can agree with that.
You know, some people like I've seen people like laughing and, you know, happy that it happened,
funny.
and it's just like, how can you wish negativity on anybody? Like, I just don't get it. So
yeah, I mean, I mean, I know some people do that. I don't wish any negativity on them, but I do feel like sometimes it's like that's why you gotta listen to your elders sometimes, because sometimes you know, it's easy. You don't always have to find out the hard way. Like
100%.
I think that's the thing. Because only reason I say this because I watched the clip of Fat Joe talking to him, and I'm like, he's laying it out for you, like. He's like, I'm telling you, this is what will happen.
But how many kids really listen?
Of course.
But we also,
it's like you gotta grow up first.
I teach middle school.
Like, oh, that's what my grandma was saying.
Yeah, I teach middle school, and like for every 25 things I say, 2 years later, 2 of those things will have stuck with my kids because they're like, oh yeah, Miss Byron, like you were right about this. Like I had one of my boys said something to me today, and he was like, you told me I shouldn't have been talking to all them girls, blah, 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 because it's like, you know, distraction. I was like, yeah, I did. I was like, but I told you that when you were trying to talk to everybody in 6th grade, and now you're in 8th grade and you're just coming to like that understanding. I was like, you see how long it takes them to like.
But hey, that's good that he learned that in the 8th grade.
He's still be trying to get around. He's saying that he understands, but it doesn't mean he's gonna make better decisions. But it's a start. It's a start.
How old are you in 8th grade? 13?
Yeah.
Nah.
He's far from over, and he
ain't even start.
No, he got started, but he's just not finished anytime soon.
Nah, you gotta.
But
20
yeah,
years.
man, listen. But all right, well, hold your head up, Takashi. I guess, right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, with that being said, it's now time for the champ.
You're not the champ.
I am the champ.
The last time well, yeah, go ahead.
I won.
I gave you that one.
I won at the live show, my nigga.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Oh my God. You definitely didn't live. Go ahead.
Because so TJ's like loophole for this thing is that if my relationship tip has anything to do or has been inspired by him, then he automatically wins. However, he's the only person I've ever been with, so all of them are going to be.
But I'm sure his are inspired. Also, right?
Sometimes,
no? If they are,
but he picks random things.
The difference is, if it is inspired by her, I'm gonna say, you know, she inspired. Yeah, exactly.
I say it too, but I don't say you win.
I mean, listen, if you inspired me to think the way that I think, it's because of you. So you get that.
So you'll tell her up front.
Yeah.
But
that's his rules.
You'll sneak yours through, and then he'll be like, "Wait, I did that."
I'll say it.
No, she'll say
I'll
it.
say it.
But she won't be like,
I'm not going
won.
to say that that's automatically his W. Like, that's not
it's
his
definitely
win.
my W.
Anyway.
It's definitely my W.
Well, this
But
one wasn't inspired by you.
Okay.
This is just an overall one.
Okay.
So, my relationship tip is, the holidays are upon us, right?
Facts.
And it's a really, really fun time of year. It's a great time of year. We reconnect with family, the good food, the presents, the people are traditionally and generally like in just a better mood, most people. However, when you're in a relationship or even if you're not in a relationship, sometimes though this chunk of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas can be like a lot, like also in the sense that like with all that family coming into town, people are bringing all their baggage, they bring in all their judgment, they bring in their opinions on how you live your life, their opinions on your relationship, just a lot. And
that don't happen over here, but
but it happens to a lot of people.
No, go ahead, I'm listening.
So I'm saying is that, I think we've all been in situations where we've been around family and it's just been kind of a lot, and like you'll like literally go into another room or go outside to like get away for a minute.
Yep.
And I think that with your partner, if it's like they come in at y'all as a unit, or if it's by yourself, or if it's you and your best cousin, favorite cousin, whoever, it's okay to sometimes like quote unquote close the door for a few minutes with your partner or with whoever or by yourself to like regroup. Right. Because as much as we love our extended family or our immediate family, being around them for extended periods of time, those long weekends or whatever, it could wear a person out. It could wear a person out. And so my tip for everyone is don't feel bad for having to like take step away for a minute. You don't owe anybody and all your undivided attention for 36, 48, 20, however many hours that they're around. Like, it's all right to just close the door for a minute, catch your breath, and then come back out and, rejoin the fold or whatever. Don't be totally antisocial, but don't think that you owe anybody for the entirety of the holiday season or the weekends and stuff. And with that, I yield.
I like that a lot.
Thank you. That's what I be giving. Yeah. Now listen to this bullshit he gonna come with.
Wow, but that's good that you thought that through. That's dope.
Come with the shenanigans, TJ.
Listen, my stuff is super simple, right?
Yeah.
Yours was dope though.
I know.
All I'm gonna say for the couples out there.
Yeah, we're listening. With bated breath. Let's go.
I don't know what bated breath means.
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna say that you and your significant other should do an assignment together.
Shut the hell up. What? Okay.
Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
You gotta listen.
We gotta do homework together?
Yeah. Do something unique. Like go to the museum and, do a scavenger hunt at the museum. Something like just something different.
It sounds like my 7th grade history project.
Oh my gosh. I don't you don't talk to me about school, so I don't know what y'all do.
When I was in 7th grade, not my 7th graders.
All right, and how many days it took you? 2 days. I remember the story.
Yes.
You and Amber.
Yes.
But do something like that as a couple. It's something different, something unique, but find a way to link it all together so that way it can bring y'all together, but it allows y'all to work as a team and converse and learn together.
Okay, fair enough. There's actually this game too. I saw it on the Shade Room. It's like a card game that people can play now, which is like it's something about like a relationship card game. It's almost kind of like
Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity, but instead you like gotta ask. If I find it later, I'll bring it up. But it just reminded me a little bit of that. Of like, it kind of calls people's like relationship opinions to the carpet. So people will sometimes like, you realize like your person that you've been dealing with, y'all got really different views on certain things.
That's really good for like dating.
Yeah. So
because now you know.
Yeah. So like you can cut your losses if you need to.
Exactly.
But that wasn't awful, but
that was good too.
But mine was better.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say anything. You got it. See, I can give you.
Well, how do people usually vote?
Well, usually we get some feedback, like usually like on Twitter and stuff like that. People will comment
IG.
and like they'll hit us up and they'll be like, I like this one better. Or this
But see, the problem is a lot of our audience is biased.
How are they biased?
Because they think you're right and you're wrong.
What?
97% of the time you're wrong.
No,
so,
I'm not.
You know,
Is it mostly women?
I mean, it's a mix. It's a mix.
Good mix.
Yeah.
But no, they think I'm right because I'm right.
No, I just think
so. The fact that the majority of people side with me makes them all wrong.
I'm just.
This is why this is the issue with us now, because it takes for 10 other people to tell him what I said for then it to make sense.
But that's relationships in general. That's anything. Your mother can tell you something, you're not going to listen. But your best friend tell you it, you're going to listen.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just need somebody else. Because you be
And that's
nagging
why-
a lot. So
and that's
it's
why
like,
I don't nag,
you be
I don't
like,
nag at all.
Nah, you be nagging a lot. So it'd be like, oh my gosh. But if someone else said, I'd be like, you know what, you're right.
Maybe you're right.
You ain't shit.
That's just the way it works.
I'm done.
So send your message through somebody else.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to do it. Like I'm gonna just be like, hey, tell TJ, that.
Right.
Which I've actually done. So that's whatever works.
Exactly.
With that being said, since he says you won't kill the messenger.
I don't kill you, so.
Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the voice that you've been hearing, and for the formal introduction on this episode of Lovers Quarrel.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gainz Load and Lock grips by Gainz Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor, go to GainSportsGear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
And for 10% off your first purchase, make sure you go to Gainz, Gainz, sportsgear.com and enter the code LOVERS10. And with that, let's get back to the show. All right, everybody. So now that we've gotten through all the elevator talk and relationship tips, let's formally introduce our wonderful guest, our special guest here. And the voice you've been hearing with TJ and I is Omar Lloyd, who is founder and CEO of D1 Entertainment. If you haven't heard, which I'd be surprised if you had, it's the premier record label in the DMV, home to names like Tate Cobain, Will the Rapper, Band Hunter Izzy, Wish Granted, and Pace of the Mafia. I'm sure I'm forgetting some people, but those are the ones I have down. I hope I get some of your roster, up there. So names that you have absolutely heard of. This is the man behind all of these people. So
one of the men.
Well, true that. But welcome to Lovers Quarrel, Omar.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
Of course. Well, with that being said, though, let's just dive right in. So D1, for anybody who may not have known, what is the origin story of D1? Like, how did it come to be?
I mean, I like to say it was an accident, but it's really not. I just love helping people. So, I'm gonna give you the physical story, right? Mm-hmm. And then I may give you some stuff behind. But the physical story is, I was in New York, I'm originally from New York, and I had a girlfriend actually back then. And I broke up with her. So I was getting back on the on the market. I was getting on the mega bus. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I did a fake ticket, jumped on the mega bus. I'm a New York nigga,
Yeah,
so
I had a mega bus connect at one point.
Yeah. So I jumped on the mega bus, and I was able to get on, and sometimes you get a seat and there's no one sitting next to you, and you're like, wow, the bus is about to pull off. I'm actually going to get two seats.
Yeah. So
that's how I was feeling. But then the very last second, this young lady sat next to me, and I was like, shit. And I kind of looked at her funny. She noticed I looked at her funny. You know what I'm saying? And she immediately was like, oh, you didn't want me to sit next to you, there's no more seats. I was like, nah, you here now, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? And then she opened up her laptop, And I peeped over there, and you know, I thought, okay, maybe she's a model or something. I just seen I seen her on the screen like doing something, and I can't remember how it went, but I found out that she was a rapper, and now we had 2.5 hours to go on the bus, and she was telling me that her manager is no good. She wants to get rid of them. You know, do you know anybody that can help? And I'm like, yeah, I know a couple people. Now, I was working corporate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I got connects through, you know people. Whoever. I know a couple people. So I was like, yeah, I can make a call or two and kind of put you that. And that's kind of how it happened. So, you know, I ended up getting a number. And, you know, she was a decent looking girl. And so my mindset, if I'm completely honest and transparent, was, you know what, I'm going to try to rock with her. You know what I'm saying? And I'll help her, you know, while I'm doing that. That turned into me becoming her manager, you know, me just really trying to push her as my artist at that point. Met, you know, a guy named Rab that did her videos. Then I met Rab's cousin, which is Take Bang. He had a song. And, you know, so now I got 2 artists. And, you know, I didn't have none of this before. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like a kind of accident that just kind of jumped on. But, you know, before all of that, I remember being in my basement when I used to be married. I used to be in my basement and be typing up business plans on how I can break an artist or break a record. I never knew that I was actually going to be doing the work, but for some reason, like, that gave me some interest. I was like, if I can figure this out, I can maybe sell this formula. So, long story short, it was kind of an accident physically, but I think I was supposed to.
It was always something kind of like lingering. It was like something that you've always kind of been interested in, but just never had to kind of fall into your lap, literally, or sit next to you on the bus.
All the stars aligned. You know what I mean? And then I happen to be a little bit older, so now I can kind of guide these kids a little bit. And it worked out. And you know, we signed one of our first record deals with Take Bang, and it was like, hey, you got to give your company a name. I'm like, oh shit! I've just been working, like you know. Some people say, "Oh, I want to start a business." They get the name, they get the paperwork, they get all it. I just started working. I didn't get a name, a logo, nothing. I just started working, and I had a deal in front of me by the time I had to figure out a name. And then that's when I came with D1. Like, I'm directing these guys one by one, so D1.
Got it. Yeah. And I mean, I see like D1 obviously has like a lot of other. You know, people think of like D1 as like the top level and that type of thing too. So
it was a play on words. I knew that the kids would think it was cool. Like, oh, I'm going D1. Like it was just a play on words. But you know, it really derives from a Bible verse. You know what I mean? That trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean on your own understanding, and He will direct your path. Like, that's like what D1 really comes from. But I couldn't tell that to the hood dude on North Avenue, you know what I'm saying? So it's just D1. But it comes from that.
Awesome, that's dope. I like that. It has like a lot of different meanings there.
With creating D1, you said that you worked corporate. Were you still working corporate as you were creating D1, or did you have to like, or did you come to a crossroad was like, I gotta choose one or the other?
Well, I was working corporate, and so I was working corporate before the riots happened in Baltimore, right? And Tate didn't have a song yet, so I was doing the Tate and Sheila was my first artist stuff on the side where I work corporate. This is gonna get real weird, but I'm just gonna tell you what happened. So
just lay it out.
So this is gonna be really weird. So okay. These people don't know me, right? So I had a girlfriend and I had a little side something, right? And so I just and then I was going to Miami constantly. I was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? I had a good paying job and I was just doing a lot, you know? And so I I have a real praying grandmother, and she constantly talking to me about how I'm living. You're not living right, boy. Get your right. I'm like, all right, man, I got you. And so I just prayed one day. I said, look, I don't care what you change in my life. Just put me on the right track. I'm ready to, just be a good guy, or, just live right. Whatever you got to change in my life, just do it. Cool. So my girlfriend found out about my side chick, I swear, 4 days later. She found out about that. So then that was a thing. So, I lost both of them.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And then I got fired from my job.
Wow.
Yeah. And things just got real bad for me. And when I, got fired from the job, I had this big car note. I think my car note was $1,200 or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, I had some big bills, and I got unemployment for $400. And so I was also on child support. I also had my daughter half the time, and I'm still on child support, which I don't know why. But mad about that. But I remember having $112 a week for me, with a $1,200 car note and bills out the ass, right? Yeah. And then my daughter was still coming over my house. I still had to feed her after $112. Exactly. So yeah, it just got crazy. And when it gets crazy like that, it sits you down.
Yeah.
And I was heartbroken about my chick, my job. I didn't know. I just was lost. And I remember going to my basement, and I was cleaning something up, and I ran across this Bible. And so I opened up the Bible. I was like, oh, man, I remember a girl gave me this Bible and just left it at my door one day, you need this. And she just left it at my door one day, years before that, and I just never opened it. I opened it up, and I just started reading it. And then, I just started learning what faith was all about. And when I learned what faith was all about, things just started changing. Then the riots happened, and Tate came up with Bankrolls, the record, and then record deal, and then things just started growing. You know what I'm saying? And so I said all that to say, sometimes God will just kick you out of whatever you got going on and be like, you really belong over here. And sometimes he'll force you over there. You know what I mean? If it was left up to me, I would have just tried to find another job. Yeah. But he was like, nah, you're not going to try to find another job. This is what you're doing. You know what I mean? And now I'm here with you.
Wow. But that's such an amazing testimony. It's just and I do even, and it might seem like it's long-winded or whatever, but I think it's you said it really to the point, but at the same time, that's something that people definitely should hear more. They need to hear it more often, because like you said, when life completely, or God, whoever you believe in, stops you in your tracks, and it's nope, you need to slow your roll. It's for a reason, and it helps you kind of reset and put you on the path that you're supposed to be on, as opposed to what you thought you were supposed to be. And I feel like I can identify that with a little bit, not in the same way, but just this last year for me has been life altering, and I've had to deal with things. And I'm not quite out the woods yet, but I'm hopeful and faithful that it'll lead to something that a clarification on whatever it is. Yeah. And but it will. Yeah. And so it will. That's so dope. Yeah. And you kind of answered this question about the challenges that you face, bringing D1 to life. But I'll say this, you kind of talked about everything that kind of led up to D1, but now that D1 is a living, breathing entity of its own that's doing well, but what are the challenges or the uphill battles that you face now, running D1 as opposed to getting to that point?
It's a ton. I have a long list of uphill battles. One uphill battle is I have to make sure that I stay focused on why I'm even doing what I'm doing, because this is an industry full of people that is focused on making money. I never got into it to make money. I only got into it because I kind of wanted to reach people and help them. And so I gotta stay focused on why I started it, and my decisions have to all be related to help rather than money. So it's a real challenge because the people I work with or people I'm affiliated with or companies I'm affiliated with, they're not into that. They're into the money.
Yeah, the bottom line.
And so it's always a challenge there. It's a challenge getting my artists to listen. They trust me, for the most part, but they really are into their friends and what their friends think and what their friends say. And, the crazy part about that is their friends are on the same level as them. Like I said, it's like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
And, they see me and they like, man, they say it all the time, like, man, when I get your age, I'm hoping I'm like you. I can do this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, you can get there. This is how you get there.
Yeah.
Because if you keep doing this or listening to them, it's going to be a pitfall somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and then artists are very creative. I'm logical.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's a battle right there because, I don't want to stop them from being creative, but sometimes their creative side of them will have them living on the edge. And I'm like, nah, come back over here. But then that may dull their creative side. I can go, it's a long list.
It's kind of like being a parent.
It is.
Yeah, it's and like being a teacher too, because I kind of one thing you said about like I'm like not listening, and we already talked about it once, but like when think about some of your artists, like they're not much older than, or like they're just coming out of being school age, quote unquote, like so it's like if I want to get technical, like right, the frontal lobe is like the front part of your brain, right, and that's where all just like logic and decision making happens. That part of your brain, it doesn't fully form or develop until like you're like early 20s or like late something around there. So you think, so like literally like probably a lot of the artists you work with, all of my students, the part of your brain that makes sound decisions is not even fully formed yet. And it's just like, so you're not only you fighting like you're fighting science, like you're fighting like biology when you're trying to like tell them, I'm telling, if you want to get like me, you want to live to see this, you want to live this type of life, here's what you have to do. And they still just like, oh, well, I'm just listening to my friend over here who's sitting here doing the same shit as me. But so, I mean, I feel you on that.
It's tough, but I love doing what I'm doing. Man, it's so much fun. And I don't want to sit here and talk bad about my artists because I love those guys so much, and I feel they love me as well. And so I'm having a great time, and we are seeing some success, and so they are listening a little bit. You know what I mean? Which is cool.
It's like you gotta just keep at it. Cause
you just gotta keep at it.
It's just like you don't. Sometimes you don't even think they're listening, but then it's like they come and like they'll surprise you. Or they'll finally be like, "Yep, you right," and like and that's like, and you say you're not in it for the money and stuff. Like, so that's probably like the most rewarding feeling in doing all of this is when it's like.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, I hate to admit it on the radio, but on the podcast. But sometimes, I cry. I cry so much because I take a note of where they started, and then you just imagine you get somebody that's never been on the east side of Baltimore if they're from the west side of Baltimore, right?
I know that.
So you get that kid. And then you open your first bank account with that kid, right? So now I experienced that, and he's like, oh, man, Or I take him to a restaurant, and they say, yo, why they give us water? I don't even like water. Wow. I'm like, bro, everyone gets
complimentary. It's water.
You know what I'm saying? Or, yo, can I get a leaving bag? I'm like, yo, bro, what's a leaving bag? I'm leaving. Can I get a bag to put this food in? I'm like, bro, that's not how you say. So I have so much fun and just seeing them grow to saying, yeah, can I get a doggy bag? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like the smallest thing.
It is,
but it's you know what I mean. One of my guys thought it was 312s. I'm like 312. Like he asked me, he said, "What time we leaving?" I said, "The plane leaves at 2." I said, "We need to be at the airport around 12." He was like, 12 in the morning, 12 at night. I'm like, nah, 12 noon. He was like, it's 3:12s? I'm like, bro, what?
It's like that.
But now he knows what noon is.
Yeah.
And so I go, in my little corner and tears are coming out of my eyes like, bro, like you just taught this kid what noon was.
Yeah.
Like, how was he out here? How was he out here and didn't know what noon was?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Like,
so it's the first plane ride. It's the first time in Miami, or the first time they see the Hollywood sign. They're like, oh, I saw that on TV. Or first time in New York, and they're like, oh, this looks like the Spider-Man game. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, what? But
giving them life experiences. You changing their lives.
Yeah, so
But it's powerful stuff, and it's important, and it's like like you said, and it makes you appreciate the things that you've been exposed to that you take for granted, because the things that like you and I might be like, well, yeah, duh, like that's, but it's like you're opening up somebody's eyes for the first time.
Whole new thing, and you can hear it in their music, everything. One guy was telling me today, he was like, man, why I keep getting this same bill every month? I was like, because now they have their own apartments and their own places, and they gotta pay their light bill every month. And they're like, yo, this bill comes every single month. Yes, bro.
Yes, that's why it
comes every single month.
It's recurring. It's monthly. Oh man.
So but
they need
I'm having a ball.
That's awesome.
With running your own business, how has that been while still being a father? Because you created something from nothing, and now you still have to be a father. You still have those responsibilities.
I blend it, and so what I mean by that is, so this is relationship. What is this called? Lovers Quarrel. All right, so it's about relationships, right? So I don't really have a partner to really talk to about a bunch of stuff. So when my daughter's around, I just tell her everything that's going on. But I tell her in a way where she can understand, your father didn't have this company, and now I do. You saw me when I didn't, and now you saw that I did. You saw when this guy started, you see where he is now. You saw that. Like, I want her to see all the things that I'm doing, and so I really tell her all the things that's going on, so she can take note of growth. And ooh, man, we can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to understand that she can do anything. So I just really blend it. I feel like it's better for me to have this business and be a father, because now I have content and things I can talk to her about, and she's old enough to understand it. So that's the dopest part about being a father while I'm running the business. The bad part about it is, because I have my daughter half the time, half the month, right? Sometimes I gotta be somewhere, and I'll miss her playing in the band at the school one day or something like that. I don't like missing those things. I want to be around for that, but I try my best not to miss anything.
Does and Spencer is the age of probably the audience that listens to your artists. So does she give you like good insight? Do you like?
You still want? I was going to ask that.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking.
So
that.
I'm just thinking if you have your daughter who is essentially like your artist target audience. It's like, has there been times where you're talking to her about these things? Has she ever been like whether purposely or not on purpose, like an influence on your decisions, or giving you like feedback that has helped you with running D1?
Definitely. So she's responsible for Will the Rapper getting signed. She's responsible for me moving ahead with Fateful Mafia. So, and I say she's responsible because I get a ton of music coming in my email and this, that, and the third. I'm 45 years old. I like Biggie, Jay, Nas, Diplomats. Like, that's my guys, right? Wu-Tang.
New York rappers.
I don't know what these kids are talking about.
Exactly.
So I don't know if it's dope. The artist is saying they're dope. Okay, everyone says they're dope. I don't know you're dope. Oh, I know who would know if you're dope. Spencer, listen to this. What you think?
So she's got the ear.
Yeah, she got the ear, and all her friends got the ear.
Yeah.
All right, you like it? Cool. Tell Angel, her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, what she think? Boom, boom, boom. So I have like 5 people in her little crew that be like, oh yeah, this is dope, or that's whack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey man, my
It's
A&R
like
said it's whack.
That's what I was gonna say. So I don't remember which I don't know if which like is it the Temptation or like Motown? Remember how he used to have was it Berry
Yes,
Gordy?
Berry
He would like
Gordy.
have them list like the people listen to the songs and like decide if it was gonna be a hit and they would send them back into the booth.
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah,
Motown.
back then he said, if this was your last $5, would you go get some food or would you go and buy this tape? And that's how they made the decision whether or not they was putting the record out.
Wow, so she's got a very
She has
vital role.
she doesn't know it, but she has a very important role.
That's dope. That's so cool. So like we've really been kind of diving into especially like how D1 has and it sounds like you're building a family over there.
Yes.
And you impart in all these like personal life lessons and just guidance excuse me, to your artists.
Yes. And staff,
excuse me. And how like do you find the balance between the personal and the professional, because this is still a business too, and you know like you said, I know you said money is not the main priority, but money is required in order to keep things going. So how do you try to strike that balance between personal and professional?
I do a terrible job with the
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I do a terrible job with the balance. Like, I can't hold on to relationships for a long period of time. I don't take a lot of personal time. I'm not interested in taking a lot of personal time. If this was the elevator part of the thing you guys do, I would say down.
Okay.
Because this is the part of the year that I hate the most, because now I have to spend time with Omar.
Yes.
On a personal level, right? Omar D1, I'm cool with him because we just be grinding, pushing, going hard, making decisions, failing, learning, winning. Like it's always something. But tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I'm just gonna be. My daughter's with her mom, right? Her mother gets all the holidays. Cool. So she's there. I'm gonna be in my house by myself, right? And so that's just how I rock. So tomorrow I'm not looking forward to it because I gotta sit in there and just be on pause, because I don't want to interrupt my guys and say, yo man, we should put this song out. Oh yo bro, what's going on with the video? Or like, I give them their time. So I can't even do business. I gotta sit there and just
wait,
be just the Omar guy. And it's like, man, this is boring.
Well, and maybe I say this like, and not just on the holidays, but like self-care, and like that's something that we all got to work on. I know it's like a buzzword that people use a lot nowadays, but like self-care is really, really important. So, you might have to ask yourself like, okay, what are the things I like to do outside of my D1 life? And if it's whatever it may be, and like maybe I do it then because when I have nothing else to do, because you're no good to everybody else. So all these people that depend on you, all these people that you that rely on you, or that you are a special person in their life, you're no good to them if you're not whole. Because it sounds to me like you give so much of yourself to everybody else. And I'm not saying that you sound like you're depleted, but you might find that you come up those times where like you're hitting a wall, and you may not have anything else left to give, or if you give everything else, what's left for you? What's left for Omar? And so that's when sometimes you could take that time to like look and see, what are the things I enjoy? What do I need? What works for me, and that makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself?
It's crazy because I feel like before D1, I knew what I liked. Like I used to hang out with my friends. I used to like that. I don't like doing that no more. I used to like watching basketball. I was in this basketball fantasy league for 16 years. You know what I'm saying? Like that was oh man, I love that, right? I tried to watch basketball the other night. I'm like, bro, I can't watch this game. Like it was so boring to me. I'm like, bro, I can't do it, you know, and there's something wrong there. You know what I mean? So, because now I don't know what I like if it's not connected to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like D1 is a business, but it's really my life because I look at it as like a whole mentoring family type situation, and it's very personal. It's a business, but it's super personal.
Absolutely.
And super filled with emotion and all types of stuff. You know what I mean? One of my artists' friends got killed, and I'm like hurt about it. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. It's a shame. I forgot what I liked.
Yeah, but that's the first step to maybe figuring it out. So I mean, I can't tell you what that is. Nobody else can. But like,
it sounds like D1 was your baby. Like it is your baby, but it's like you birthed it, and now it's like you got to see it through. Like, you know, as a parent, when you see your child hurt, you hurt. You know, so it's kind of like, because D1 and D1 came when you were at your lowest. Yeah. So it's kind of like,
it saved you.
Yeah.
It saved me.
Yeah. And I think that's a good reference, like, about the parent thing too, because especially like think about like when Spencer was little, or when I think about like, because you know Tatum is only like a little 19 months, like almost 2, and God, I know, right? So
it goes quick.
It's so fast. Yeah. Like I always say, like, I just feel like I just found out I was pregnant.
My daughter was just almost 2.
So like I saw the pictures of her Sweet 16 photo shoot. I remember one time I was with Shayla and with her at Morgan's homecoming, and you got Spencer with you, and she was like maybe like 6. Yeah. And she was so shy. She was like clinging to your leg, and now it's like she's 16, and I'm like, oh my God. But you know, I can kind of identify a little bit what you're talking about, because when you're a parent, when you have a child, like, and I guess they talk about moms always, but it could be moms or dads. Like, sometimes you get so caught up in being a mother and getting caught being with your baby, you forget, like, and I struggle with that too, in the sense of like with the actual child. Like, you know, I'm a mother, a teacher, a wife. Like, I'm just these titles. I'm a student. Like, but I sometimes forget what it is to be just Dani, and like what I like. You know, at this point, the thing that I want to do the most when I'm like, I have a second to myself, is sleep, because I'm lacking that all the time. Yeah. And so I feel you in that sense, because it's just like your D1 is your baby. D1 is all your focus, all your energy, all your time, and then all your pride, all the hard work pays off. So then when you're not doing that, it's like, dang, like, what did I do before this? When you pour so much,
what did I do before this? And I think I was like hanging with my friends and just doing all that. And even I was just hanging with them a couple of weeks ago, and it was cool, but it was like, all right, I'm ready to go.
But I think it's just kind of what you were saying about like the maturing decisions. I think as you get older, it's kind of like the things that we used to love doing, we don't love. Like, I don't love playing video games no more. I'll still play it. Yeah. But I don't get the same joy that I used to get. Yeah. And I can't figure it out. Like, I don't play like 2K comes out. Like, I'm literally buying games for other people to play. Like, I'm not buying it for myself. Right. Because I don't really enjoy it as much as I used to. And I just think as we get older, the things that we used to love sometimes change.
But I think we all, like, to her point, we all have to have things that we love that's not connected to business that I personally love. And if you told me to write down 2-3 things that I personally love, it's gonna bleed into D1. Like,
you should, you know what, and maybe like you should figure out a way, or like a resolution, since we're almost on the new year, right? Like, figure out like 2 things that you can do that you can like at least somewhat enjoy outside of D1, so that way you can, when you're those moments where it's just you, that you can do those things. Like, you don't know, maybe you like I don't know, sculpting clay or some shit like that. I don't know. But something, so that way you won't, it won't feel so like painstaking to like not do D1. Yeah. You know, like that's the thing. Like, it's just got to get to a point where you just feel like at ease with not with just chilling, you know, because you work so hard. So these few moments where you do have, you gotta make sure that they don't feel like they're things that you dread. Like, it's something like, okay, now I get to take this day and I'm gonna do this with it, or I'm gonna do nothing, but I'm gonna feel good doing nothing. So, I mean, I'm working on it too.
I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah, you gotta come back to.
But I'm so glad that you brought that to my attention because I didn't think about it like that. Like, I really don't know what I like anymore.
You gotta work on it.
Damn, I used to like a lot of shit.
Yeah, but it'll come back. It'll come back. Sometimes it'll, and like just like before, like sometimes it'll come when you least expect it.
Yeah.
And someone will pop up and you'll be like, damn, I really had a good time doing this.
Yeah.
And then you'll just be like, I want to do it again. And then when you have time, you will.
So to switch gears, with this being a relationship podcast.
Yes, let's get to the...
As Dani would say.
Uh-oh.
You've mentioned being married before. Would you ever get married again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if somebody would marry me. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a good experience, not because she was bad, but I would get married again. I just got married too young. When I got married, my friends were still running. Mm-hmm. And, I stopped and did that, and I found myself, like, cutting grass and being on a cell phone while I'm cutting grass and my man's is in Miami. Like, I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? And I was in the relationship, but I abandoned the relationship.
Got it.
And that's why I said I was in my basement and I was doing that stuff. I would come home and say hi and go right to the basement. Like, I just didn't want to be involved in that. And so, but it was just me being young, immature, and not.
Gotcha.
But now I'm much older. Man, I would love to have like a real deal partner. You know what I mean? That I can pour into, they can pour into me. And if I found something like that, I would definitely be mad.
Do you think being in the business that you're in, it's harder to find someone who can understand and be that back for you?
Super hard.
Okay.
Super. Let me tell you all my challenges, right? So I'm 45 years old, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to paint the picture of an industry nigga that's 45 years old. I'm 45 years old, and my artists are 20, 21. So I'm in places with them. The people around us are all 20, 21, 22, maybe 25 if I'm lucky, right? So now I'm not even in the places to meet someone close to my age. I don't know if I would want a 45, but give me a 35, give me a 33. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that. But I don't know where they are. Like, I have no clue where they are, right? So that's the first problem. Second problem is I'm an industry guy. I hate saying that, but I am. And I'm constantly
you're of the industry.
I'm of the industry. And so I'm constantly traveling. So how can I really show real attention to a situation? Right. And then I'm in the industry. So who's gonna really trust me? Because I'm here, there, and everywhere, and groupies and right? So who's really gonna trust that? I'm in the industry. So now I gotta watch out for people that know I'm in the industry, think I got some money or something going on, and they don't really like me, but they wanna latch on to me or get pregnant so now I can get the check. Like, it's so many.
It's stressful.
Right? Stressful. And so then I find myself like, damn, maybe I should have married the chick from 4 years ago because I didn't have nothing and she knew me and she liked me when I didn't have nothing. But then you call her up, she's taken. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, now I'm out here, you got to find somebody new. Which is hard because I said, all my people that I'm around are young. So, I'm not necessarily in Whole Foods. I don't know, where the 30-something-year-olds hang? Whole Foods, Harris Teeter. Where they at? I don't know. They're not in the club. They're not at the concert that my guys are performing.
My single friends, they're in their early 30s. They're either at work, they are at some of them at church. So, then you got...
Wegmans. Wegmans could be a good place.
Wegmans. I said the
happy hours.
I said the library, but I think I meant the bookstore.
Bookstore?
Barnes and Noble.
Maybe Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, see,
Well,
I'm never
Red
in
Women.
these places.
See, I think back in the days, maybe Barnes and Nobles, but they got Audibles. They got Audible
it's
books
the
now.
Amazon.
Everything's on electronic.
Everything's
So I think they're in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the house.
Oh, they are in the house because they don't like to go no fucking where.
Exactly, because they did that already.
Yeah, they like,
so,
I'm not.
So now, how can I find them? Like, so now I gotta scour the internet or something?
I mean,
You got to throw a 30
30
Noble
over
party.
You got, you know what? You need like one of your couple friends to have a party where there's some of their single friends are there, and you just swing through.
Let me tell you another issue that I forgot. So I have older ears because I like the Biggie J but then I have young eyes, right? So when I was just with my friends not that long ago, and we were in a place, and everybody was in there like 30 something, and I'm looking like, man, these people are old, right? I'm older than everybody in there, but I'm looking at them like, man,
You calling them
chicks is old.
See,
You know what I'm saying? They're not old, but I'm so in, you know.
I get you.
I'll be with Izzy,
Yeah.
and in Miami, and there's
Young.
23-year-olds looking like whatever they looking like, and so then when I get to the party down the street, it's like, whoa, these people are old.
They're not gonna be the same. They don't move at the same speed. They've been there, done that.
So yeah, being of the industry has so many issues that I didn't know was gonna have when it comes to the relationship thing.
Yeah, and I mean,
It's tough.
that must
tough.
and like especially like the air, like the places that you are, because I know, I mean, and I've always been kind of a homebody, but obviously when I was like right out of college and stuff, like going out on Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and and going to work the next day was nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
And then like now it's just like I love being home. Like like it is so nice to not have to like go back out. And that's the thing too, is like when you get older you got more responsibility and stuff.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, I don't know, like do you feel like you enjoy being in those spaces? Like I know you have to be in those spaces kind of like for work, but do you feel like you're just like, oh, another club, oh, like like
yeah. When I'm working, it's like, oh, another club, oh, another venue, another concert. So the only part I enjoy is actually seeing my guy perform or whatever he's doing. And, it's like amazing to watch. Oh, man, you got 300 people that you're performing for. A couple months ago it was 24 people. Mm-hmm. Now you got 5,000 people. Like, I've seen it, so I enjoy that part of it. But actually being in the spot, no, I don't like it. And I also like being in my house too. Yes. So that's why it's just really hard for me to meet
people,
somebody that, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever considered online dating? Because I mean, that's at least that way you can figure out if you got something in common with a person.
So I've done online dating, not the traditional way. I've been on Instagram and seen a girl in some other girl's picture and be like, DM the girl like, yo, who the girl in the blue? Yeah. That's my online dating.
Oh my god. Okay. Not formal, not like swipe left, swipe right, all that stuff. Okay.
Nah, I don't have a profile pic somewhere.
Don't knock it.
What is it called? Plenty Fish or something like that?
Oh, there's like Plenty of Fish, there's Tinder, there's I don't know if Bumble. I think Bumble is the one where like the woman has to pick you. Like you can't reach out; they can only reach out. Something like that.
That won't work.
We've been together since before online dating was even a thing.
Yeah,
so, they're talking about this is 2004. Yeah, so it's just like shit. Like it's a lot. Everything's foreign to me. But yeah, I think you bring up a valid point like that, and that's gotta feel lonely sometimes.
Yeah, it's super lonely.
But
this whole thing is lonely. Like the business is just it's a lonely process when you're growing a company. Yeah. Because who really wants to sit by that unless they are all the way in love with you already?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe, and I guess this is a question I would have is like, what do you need from a partner in order for like it to work now? Like what about a woman would you need from her in order for you to know that you guys like have a shot at working?
I just need to feel like I have a partner.
Okay.
I mean, I wish I can give you a better answer,
okay.
but you know, I love helping people, right? And so I love helping these young guys, but I find myself with like younger women because I also love just helping people, and these younger women are like, I don't know what to do with my career. Or I don't know what decision to make here. And so like now I'm helping them. But I have no one that pours into me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so to answer your question, just someone that I'm going to, you know, push and motivate to be at their best, you know, levels. And I would want somebody to do that for me. Somebody to hold me accountable. Yeah. Someone to say, nah, man, you're not doing D1 today. Yeah. Just chill out today. You know, like someone that's going to care about me enough to, you know,
make sure you're good.
Make sure that I'm good.
Equal
I don't
yoked.
have that. I don't have that. Yeah. I talk to my daughter. I don't have that. Yeah.
So you need somebody to make you like equally yoked. Like you need somebody who's maybe as ambitious as you, but also like as but understands too, like that you need to find time for somebody to kind of reel you in when
someone to reel me in.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know where that.
And they gotta have a strong personality.
Yeah.
But then I like a pleasant woman. You know what I mean? So like it's
a lot of different.
It's a lot of different variables.
They gotta have a strong personality because they gotta, in order to reel me in, because I have a strong personality. Yeah. It's like, you gotta be, hey, nah, Omar, this is not what we're doing today. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, you got it.
you need someone who's gonna be strong.
Strong. Yeah. Strong but pleasant.
Yeah.
Listen, TJ's a strong personality, and he's a strong personality.
What does that mean?
It means you a lot.
That's crazy.
You are a lot to deal with. Some
really?
days.
I'm really simple.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
don't let this.
cool.
Don't. He is super cool, but he's also a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you already know, like when you're in a relationship, and like relationship TJ, marriage TJ may not be the same thing as like TJ who chops it up with Omar versus TJ with his frat brothers. So like and don't get me wrong, like obviously I'm here, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shut
you
up.
over there complaining.
I'm not complaining. I'm talking about you could be a lot.
Trying to say I'm a lot.
You are a lot.
You over here.
You're indecisive. You're emotional.
Yes, I'll say I'm emotional.
I won't say. Okay, you're a little moody, maybe.
No, I'll take emotional.
Emotional. Like, it's not a bad thing. Moody. Like you'll give the shirt. He's literally giving the shoes off his feet to somebody. Like that's what I love about him.
Yeah, good guy.
But then also too like when we're trying to figure out what to eat for dinner, and it's just like pulling fucking teeth. And I'm just
that's
like,
because
stop.
I'm simple,
because
so
you're gonna lie.
I'll eat Chinese food.
Yeah,
I'll eat that. So I'll be like, "What do you want?" And she'd be like, "I don't know." I'll be like, "All right, let's eat Chinese food." And she'd be like, "I don't want that." So
first of all,
so for me,
lying.
Yeah,
I'm lying.
No, because that has happened in the past.
That's happened a lot.
But then it's the same guy who he'll be like, "I think I want Chinese food." I go, "Okay," and he goes, but maybe I want pizza. And it's 90 minutes later, and we still fucking hungry.
I have had that.
Indecisive.
Sometimes I can't, because sometimes I may be in the mood for it, but sometimes I'm like, I'm not. But I would say as of recently, you've become more like go with the flow. But typically, you used to be like,
and you become more
going against. I mean, whatever.
I always used to hate that argument when I was in a relationship. Like, what do you want to eat?
I don't know.
I hate that.
Because you have different tastes. Like, and for me, like, food, I can't eat the same thing like over and over. Or it depends. Like, I may have a week where I can eat Chinese food every day. Yeah. And then I may have a month where I'm like, I don't want Chinese food at all. Yeah. So that's where it kind of comes, because it's just like, I don't know where my mind's gonna go at that moment. Yeah. So I would be like, yeah, let's do Chinese. And like, nah,
indecisive.
No, I get that, but it also stems from.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it also stems from, I'll be like, let's do this, and she'll be like, no. So for real, I don't want to. Go ahead, you tell me what we eat.
What we indecisive?
Yes.
You know what?
I mean, listen.
But
add that to the list. If I can find a woman that knows what she wants to eat, I'll eat that.
You might be hard pressed. You might be able to find everything else on your list, but then that's gonna be the one thing that's missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like one thing, and it's you've been talking about how it's like your passion and following and everything like that, and like it. But I think that what it comes down to is like maybe you need to find somebody who is trying to do the same thing as you, even if it's not in the music industry, but like maybe an entrepreneur or somebody who owns their own business. Because I think even though it might be hard pressed for y'all to find time for each other at one point,
right,
it also brings the level of understanding that y'all might have for each other. Because if she's pursuing something that's passionate for her and you're pursuing your passion, at least there's a level of understanding. And then when you get to a point, you can be like, babe, let's slow down, let's do this. And she could do the same for you. So that could be something to look for in somebody.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I don't not believe you. Sorry.
The part about that is it's a couple things that's difficult, and I hate to be a Debbie Downer on everything because something's gonna work. But the part about that is difficult is usually the women that are like really ambitious and out here like trying to make moves, sometimes bring that same energy home. It's not like they turn it off and they're home and they're like cool, pleasant, Calgon, take me away. Like that's not them. You know what I mean? Like they still,
I'll go get it like you.
Yeah. And I like peace and tranquility in the crib. You know what I'm saying? And so
you can't have it all.
I can't. So that's the problem. Like I got to figure out some things to take off of my list that I'm looking for and just be content with, I never believed in the 80-20 rule, but now I think I do.
It's true.
Oh, it's super true.
Yeah, I got it.
Like everybody's not gonna have everything, but you gotta and not by no means like settle, but at the same time,
I think it's all about compromising.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the biggest thing. Like, listen, when we home, put your phone away. Like the phone goes off, or after this time. I think that's gonna be the biggest. I think that's the biggest thing for couples.
Like this, this podcast is literally like me and TJ's like quality time sometimes, because
that's dope.
If we don't get but an hour to an hour and a half a week to sit across from each other and talk to each other, or talk to each other with one other person, like that, because sometimes that could be very well be the only time we really get to communicate with each other,
especially now
uninterrupted because of work and school and baby and so this podcast is a passion thing for us, but it's also like something that I think has helped our marriage in the same
dope.
Because like I'm not everything that TJ needs sometimes, and he's not everything I need sometimes, but you've been married, you've been in relationships, you get very comfortable, or like you pick at each other, you can always find something wrong with the other person than what's right with them. And so
especially when you're with them all the time,
exactly,
it's so much easier.
Yeah. And like there's been times where we've had people, me and TJ would like beefing, like going at it, but then like when the mic turns on, it kind of makes us kind of push through it and push past it, and then by the end of the episode we're like, all right, we're like in a better space. So sometimes
I envy that. Like that's so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to get to that point where I'm like can go through some things, but know that we're gonna push through anyway.
Yeah,
I think that comes with time.
Yeah, when you're dating on the dating market, or have someone you're seeing, if we go through something, it might be the end. You know what I'm saying? It may not be, hey, we gotta push past this. Like, hey man, I love D1. I push past anything for D1.
You just gotta find the female manifestation of D1. You gotta find somebody ready to push through it. But she's out there.
Yeah, I guess I got what you said. I gotta go to Whole Foods and catch them while they're
Wegmans
just before they go home.
Wegmans.
Yeah, go to Wegmans right around like between like the 5 and 6 o'clock
5
hour.
to 7.
Picking up something.
Exactly.
Picking up something to go home.
And you be like,
excuse me.
Do you know which artichoke is right or not? Like, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And then, and come in there and be like, I'm trying to cook dinner for my daughter. Like,
yeah, you gotta put that out there.
Yeah.
Change this whole game.
Oh my gosh.
With your artists and dating, do you have like, what kind of advice do you give them as far as?
That's a good point.
Because
You want the real answer?
Yeah, I want the real answer. Because you've seen them, as you stated, from the beginning. So when they didn't have anything, when they didn't have the fans that they have now. But now that they're popping, now it's kind of, it's different.
Yeah.
And, you know, do they listen?
Not all the time.
Okay.
But it's going to be, that part of, that is going to be a really hard thing for me to get them to do, is listen when it comes to females.
Mm-hmm.
Because society, TV, magazines, music, their friends, all have, for guys, there's one rule, like conquer as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just trying to rock every single thing. And then here I come, and I did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here I come now, older, saying, nah, you don't gotta rock everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, hold some value for yourself. You're just spreading yourself out to everybody, and all these women can say, I had it. Like, it brings your value down. Like, you gotta, and they're like, I don't even understand what you're saying anymore. Like
self-worth.
I don't care about my value. I'm rocking all. Do you see that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then I have to switch to, okay, go ahead and do that, with hopes that they get tired of it. They just haven't got to the part where they get tired of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the age.
Yeah,
It just got, I think, made it more
it
active.
is, but it's different because their influence is different.
On type of,
you know,
it's not just,
so it's kind of
I
like,
get it.
you may have a woman talk to you who would have never talked to you, but you're somebody now, and, and you know, and then if you have money, you know, you got to worry about being tracked. Like it's
so
different
crazy.
things.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got, like,
It's
I mean,
like,
at this place, you
so
have more
like,
safety.
So I gotta push condoms on them. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, this girl wouldn't have talked to you, but now she is talking to you. There's something there.
Yeah.
So now when you do it, bro, because you're gonna do it, wear a condom. These kids, like, condoms are like, why do I have to use a condom?
Oh my god!
And when I say things like AIDS, they like, what is that? So when we grew up, when I first started, it wasn't no condoms. When I first started, I'm old, right? So when I first started, you was cool, you was just rocking, right? But then this AIDS thing came and people started dropping dead, but they said it was for gays. So we was like, all right, we still cool. But then Magic Johnson caught it and he started crying on TV. We're like, oh, wait a minute. This is real. That's when condoms became like a thing.
Because AIDS meant death at that time.
So that's what it means to me. Like, yo, I gotta wear these condoms because I don't want to die. That's what it means to me. But now, fast forward to 2018, and their friends are not dying from AIDS anymore. I'm still yelling, "Hey, watch out for AIDS!" They're like, "I don't know nobody with AIDS. All my friends are living, bro."
See, for me, I think when I got older, I kind of understood STDs, AIDS, all that stuff. But it was like, I couldn't bring nobody home pregnant. Like, that was my mother thing.
Yeah,
you get anybody pregnant, you're out of here.
Problem.
Like, no, I mean, it's a problem, but you're out of here. So it was like, once I started, you know, doing it, I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure they don't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to lose what I got going on here. So that was kind of my thing, you know. But
yeah, these kids, they like, all my guys have kids. You know what I mean? Like, Tate Copain has 6 or 7 of them. You know what I mean? Tate got 2. You know, they all got multiple kids, more than I got, right?
Wow.
And so they are used to being broke, and they can raise their kids broke. That's just how they think.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a kid. I gotta put money away. I gotta save. I gotta get this, or I gotta get this popping because I gotta pay for this kid. For some reason, that it doesn't calculate for them like that. So they don't even worry about people getting pregnant. And I'm like, bro,
that's crazy.
So it's really tough. One of my guys, Izzy, is dating Zanique, T.I.'s daughter, right?
Yeah.
And so I started with the initial talk, like, yo, she's hitting me, you know what I mean? And she wants to go out. I've never been on a date before. Like, do I pay?
Wow.
Do I do, like, so I had to talk him through all of that. And one of the things I said was, yo, don't have sex with her the first night. Just don't do it. He's like, why? I'm like, just don't do it. You know what I mean? And, I wanted them to be able to, like, talk and, like, get to know each other and stuff like that. So now they're in this relationship, and I like her. She's cool. Like, I like her as a person. Mm-hmm. But it may not be the best thing for his business career move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's hard for me to tell him, bro, slow down on this because you got to get to this, level of your career. But he actually really likes her. So I don't want to necessarily pull him out that relationship. Then he goes back to rocking all the, you know what I mean? And then 3 more babies pop. Like, how I have time for a relationship when I got to do that for all my guys?
Yeah.
I got 8 guys and I got to dig into their life on every single little thing.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, you know what? I say this. You may not have time right now. You got to figure out what you like.
I got to figure it out.
You got your homework for tomorrow that we done figured out.
Yeah. I'm going to watch some movies.
That's my teacher mode, right? And so then once you figure that out, then again, it'll like, before you know it, somebody else will be sitting next to you. Yeah. And then they'll be coming next to you in the produce aisle or something like that. And then it'll turn into something else. But, I mean, kudos to you because I talk to the boys that will probably become the same type of men that some of them that you're dealing with right now. And if anything, like I could only hope that like some of my boys will have somebody that will be around them at that 20-something age when you really can't tell them shit.
Yeah. But that's when they need it.
And when they need it the most, and because so those men on your on D1 and that you work with or that are your artists are lucky to have someone who's at least trying to get through to them.
Or someone who cares.
And someone who cares enough to get through to them because a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not going to be overnight. I'm sure you already know it's not going to be the next week after, but like slowly but surely it'll start to you'll start to kind of erode their thinking, and it'll be a more positive outlook, and and then the more you learn, the more that you can like impart on them.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's powerful stuff that you're doing.
No, 100%.
Super powerful, right?
It kind of goes back to like Dani being a teacher, and I pushed Dani to teach because she's always good at it, and Dani thing is like. It's kind of like D1. Like right now, I'm seeing a lot of the same things as far as she takes it like super serious. Like she'll get there. She gets up 6 o'clock in the morning, and she's not coming back until 6 o'clock at night. Like she's sick. The doctor's telling her take a week, and she's like, I can't. And I can understand it more.
Oh, because now somebody else is telling you.
Well, he's not telling me, but you see a difference. From
a different lens,
I also try to tell Dani, like, you can't give everything and then you have nothing for yourself. Like, if the doctor's telling you you're sick, you need some time off, you should listen to the doctor at this point because you got to take care of yourself. But
it's good that you have each other to hold each other accountable 100%. And have each other's ear.
Because he doesn't.
You see, this seat is empty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
got it. Yeah.
I don't have that.
You need somebody to like be fussing at you, like, no, you're sick, Omar. Like, you gotta. And that's true. I mean, sometimes I don't listen, and sometimes I do.
But
at least you hear it.
I understand the importance of what Dani does, and I try to tell her to make sure a lot of these kids that she's teaching. They are their own parents, they are raising themselves.
Yeah.
And when she tells me some of the crazy stories, I always try to remind her, like, all you can do is give it your all, because honestly, me thinking if I was 13 and I'm doing everything myself and my teacher is telling me something, I'm not listening to you. Mm-hmm. Like 9 times out of 10. Mm-hmm. But if I know that you're caring,
right.
I'm going to remember that. Like, when I was in middle school, they was like, TJ was bad, he didn't like me. But one teacher, Miriam, she was like, he's not bad. And for me, it was like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. somebody's
They
fighting
get
for me.
it.
Somebody's
Yeah.
advocating for me. So I made sure, like, I was going to cut up in her class. I was going to respect her. I was going to make sure that I was going to do whatever was needed because she actually cared. Whereas other teachers, it was kind of like they already had their idea about me. So it was just like, I'm going to do what you asked me to do, but that's it. It's going to stop there. So kudos to y'all.
Powerful stuff.
Listen, we trying and do it in very different ways, but with the same intent of like just trying to help people become better people or better human beings. Like that's like 90% of my day I feel like is more about my relationships with my students than the content that I'm teaching. Like, you know, some my kids may not give a shit about kinetic energy, but they gotta remember that Miss Byerson taught them, like, you know, just because if somebody has something to say about me doesn't mean I have to fight them. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
but that's the more important thing. And you know,
I know.
I think in school there should be like teaching you how to live. Like, we can learn all this other stuff, but it's hard to tell someone who doesn't have a place to go at night,
right?
Yeah.
About school, like, I like in their mind, they don't care about this.
Yeah. And
like, if they're not eating, I don't care about this. Like, you know, there's some kids who the only time they're eating is at school.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I have them.
I think that, you know, there needs to be something there to do a better job of understanding your kids and trying to give them more than just this is education. Like, we've been doing it this way for so long. You're supposed to go to school.
Teachers need
do
to
this.
really care. The best teachers really care about.
It's the social emotional. It's that part where like you're talking to them and not talking at them.
Right.
Like sometimes I have to remind myself because like I teach middle school and they can take you there, like because they think they grown, but they're not, and then it's just like you know, they can put you way out of pocket, out of character because they just real quick. And you know, one of my boys, I like was talking to his counselor just today right before we left, and the conversation was all about like he had in school suspension because he was off the hook, and I pushed for it because I'm like, you know what, he needs a break from everybody, we need a break from him. But then, like, you know, talking to him, and I'm like, I'm forgetting that, like, he's got a lot of home issues. And his counselor was like, how she had to go to do a home visit, and, you know, they have no furniture. It was like it was a folding chair in the living room, and she's like, he's telling me he's got a bed, but I really can't be too sure. Like, I didn't go upstairs, but he's saying there's a bed up there, but.
Yeah.
You never know. And I'm like,
how do you combat that?
And like, and you know, and it reminded me of why he comes to school and he acts an ass all the time because and that's why he's never absent. Like, you know, they'll say like the bad ones never miss a day. He's never absent because you know what? It's warm. It's food. It's friends. It's safety. It's
all that.
It's an escape from everything that he's got going on at home. So he is gonna be there every fucking day, grinding my gears. But you know, and like, and sometimes acting a fool, got the filthiest mouth in West Baltimore sometimes, but then other times like super concerned about how he did, and like he has a kitten. And I'm like, I found out today. So like, we had this activity where we actually had to like, I'm not to get too off topic, but we got like these cans that we were using to do like a science experiment with. But one can we used was dog food and one can was cat food. And so I was like, oh, I just found out they had a kitten. So I was like, okay, I'll save the cat food, and when he comes back to school on Monday, I'll give him the cat food for his kitten. And I know in my heart that as much of like as obnoxious as he could be, I bet you he's like the most like doting like pet parent ever. And I'm like, that's what he shows this. So it's crazy.
It's the craziest thing. And you know, like some of my artists are like hardcore and they're not fake. Like they're really, I hate to say it, but all my artists damn near except Which Granted were like criminals, like straight up criminals. You know what I mean? And most people wouldn't want to rock with them. Like, but that's where I rock. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but when you get in with them, man, those some of the nicest, caring, concerned
they let
guys. They are so nice, but their environment causes them to just do things. I hate blaming on the environment, but it's like they don't know any better.
That's all they know.
And this is how I gotta eat. My mom left with, Izzy and his brother. Their mom left him when he was 13 and 14 years old, and they left him in the house, lights off and everything. They went outside. They was selling Tylenol, acting like it was crack, and run, you know what I mean? Like
it's survival mode, and it's like you said, how do you expect people to be all these other things if like their basic needs aren't being met? And so like sounds
that's
like
where y'all come in.
That's you got him a little older, I get him a little younger. Hopefully somewhere between we'll close the gap.
Yeah, we can close the gap and get these guys where they're going. But keep pouring into them, and I'm gonna keep pouring into mine, and we should be good, man.
You're trying to do something, but I mean, I think that we're gonna end on that note, because this has been a really I love where the conversation goes, because you never really know. We have our questions, but we always just like end up going back and forth, and I want to say like we really appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us and giving us the insight of like what it is to this very unique industry and profession that you're in, but also seeing like all the passion that goes behind it. Because I mean, a lot of people want to be in the industry, a lot of people want to do music, but they don't really get what goes into it.
That kind of gives me
a ton.
Like the last question.
Oh, what's your real last question?
What would you tell somebody who wants to like start their own business or do something that's not the norm? Because your story, you kind of talked about, it kind of fell onto you, but it was, God's plan. But, there's a lot of people who won't quit their job or won't change their profession because of, fear and what's my next steps? And you were kind of forced to do it, but you did it, know, because you could, like you said, you could have went to get another job.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to somebody who's questioning or,
There's a couple things I would say. Get a relationship with God or a higher power, because you're going to need it.
True.
You're going to need it because you got to learn what faith is all about. You got to learn that even though you're getting $113 a week on this check and you got a $1,200 car note, I was talking to God like, hey, God, I got this $1,200 note, right? You want them to take my car? Like, just let me know if that's what you want them to do. They'll take it, but is that what you really want? Because then how am I going to get my daughter to school? Like, you got this covered, right? So just get a relationship with him or whoever you believe in. And then once you get a relationship, the next thing is, sometimes you just got to jump off the cliff. Sometimes you just got to jump and then grow some wings on the way down. You know what I'm saying? People don't like to jump. People like that safety net that they think is a safety net called a job. But that can end if someone's having a bad day, they fire you, or budget cuts, or anything that can happen, and then you really out here in the jungle, right? So my whole point is, okay, learn how to win with no safety net. If you learn how to win with no safety net, you'll be absolutely fine. So it goes back to make sure you have a relationship with God so you can get your faith up, and then that'll give you the courage to get out here, jump off the cliff, grow some wings, and fly. So and then whatever business you want to get into, love it enough to do it for free. People be thinking about money when they start these businesses. I don't even think of a name for the business, let alone how much money I can make. You know what I'm saying? So do a business that you love doing, even if there was no monetary reward.
That's a powerful statement.
And then that's when the money's going to come.
Got you.
Because you're going to do it because you love it so much, then people are going to checks are going to show up. I know it might sound crazy, but I was just helping Tate and them, you know what I'm saying? Because when I met Tate, he had 5 kids and he was 20 years old. And he had no job, and he was staying in the car in the gas station. and I would give him like $7, and he would go to Little Caesars and get the hot and ready for $5, and he would cut it up in all these little pieces, and he would give it to his kids, and he didn't eat. Yeah, I'm gonna help that kid out. Oh, bro, you can rap? All right, cool. Like, I'm thinking, bro, I'm gonna put you on Oprah's couch one day, and she's gonna talk about the probability of someone like you with 5 kids, no job, sleeping at the gas station, how you're gonna be able to succeed. We're gonna figure out how to make you succeed. Like, it's a 0.00001 chance of you winning. That's why I got into it. It wasn't even about any money at all. I just wanted to see that kid win because he had to feed all those kids. And if he won, that would inspire the next person, the next person, the next person. The point is, I jumped into that, not thinking about any money, helping him out. Next thing you know, Leo Cohen's calling my phone. Kevin Lyles calling my phone. And they calling to offer me a check to get for this kid. You know what I'm saying? So money kind of shows up. It goes back to God again. If he puts you on a path, he's putting you on that path, but he's going to have all the provisions you need. He's going to provide everything you need. You just don't see it.
Yeah.
But when you get there, it's going to be, oh, all right, this is how I'm going to eat today. Damn, I didn't even see that coming. Oh, this, you know what I mean? It's just going to work. So it's like, jump off the cliff. You'll grow the wings if you have the faith. I don't know if that's the right answer.
I mean,
but that's my answer.
That's the answer.
That's
I feel like everybody's answer is going to be different. Every situation is different, but that's your truth. So I appreciate it.
It's your truth. It's the right answer.
And it made sense. So
Yeah, I didn't know if it made sense.
no,
it made
made
perfect
sense.
sense. It made perfect sense.
And with that was the final
And with
question.
that-
We're going to really wrap it up, y'all.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We
man.
appreciate you for
I
coming.
hope I get a relationship like y'all one day. I'm gonna go to Wegmans.
Between
Well,
5 and
what?
7.
We met on a basketball court, so I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Maybe go to the gym. That's another
Maybe they
place.
at the gym.
So, this is yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel.
Did you want to give your information?
Yeah, like how people could follow D1 on social media.
Yeah, well, I heard we have a website, d1entertainment.com. I got a staff now, so they just do shit.
Nice.
Which is cool, right? But my Instagram is Omar Lloyd _ My real Instagram is Omar. I mean, my first Instagram was just Omar Lloyd, but I forgot the password, so I had to create Omar Lloyd _
Lord.
But yeah, that's how people can follow me. It's
right.
it's not very exciting, but I say some pretty cool stuff.
It does the job.
Y'all can also go to d1.ent on IG and
Yes.
d1ent_ on Twitter. So y'all can follow
all that.
Y'all can follow D1 Entertainment and see what they got cooking over there.
Exactly.
And support our artists because we're doing it for the right reasons. We want our artists to succeed and win, but not in a monetary way. We want them to grow into like good guys, get off the street. I feel like I'm taking Gainz off the street one by one. If one of my artists wins, he's able to employ, a guy to do merch, employ a guy to, drive the bus, or employ a guy to do, you know what I mean? And those are like potential not even potential criminals coming off of the street.
Yes.
And so please, support if you can.
It sounds to me like that's God's work there.
It is all God's work.
So for us, if you want to follow us, you can,
On Twitter, we're at Lovers Quarrel 7. That's where I'll be on.
Yeah.
Even though Danny be trying to steal my shine sometimes.
Listen.
But that's besides the point.
sometimes I go on a rant and then that's it. But
Yeah. But next time, can you just add a dash Danny?
whatever.
Let's let them know that's you for real.
We're also on Instagram at Lovers Quarrel Show. And of course, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, quarrels for us, email us at loversquarrelshow@gmail.com. And with that being said, this has been another episode of Lovers Quarrel. And as always, we fuss,
We fight,
but we love. Bye.
Later, y'all.